Hello and welcome to Ikike Digest, your learning space on Home FTV. I am Kome Ojomo. On Ikike Digest, we aim to continuously bring to light environmental issues as it affects communities and our food system. We highlight government's policies that do not fit the needs of the people as we provide our listeners with adequate ecological information. In today's edition, we will be examining defending the defenders. Who are the defenders that needs to be defended? You'll agree with me that the importance of community-led environmental monitoring initiatives exposes the impact of environmental degradation on local community and our ecosystem. The challenges faced by environmental defenders in the global south underscores the need for international solidarity and support for environmental defenders. Environmental defenders play a crucial role in protecting the planet from destruction. These individuals and communities risk their lives to monitor and expose environmental abuses, advocates for policy changes, and promotes sustainable practices. For decades, oil spill and pollutions have devastated the region's ecosystem and communities. In response, local activists and community members have organized monitoring oil spills, track pollution levels, and advocates for corporate accountability and government action. And we have in the studio today Kwami Kpondzo, who is going to explain to us better how environmental defenders can be defended. Kwame Kpondzo is a prominent environmental activist from Togo, serving as the executive director of Center pour la Justice Environmental, Togo. In his role, he leads the initiative to combat coastal erosion and other environmental challenges affecting local communities. As a former campaigner at Friends of the Earth Togo, Kwame played a crucial role in mitigating potential environmental impacts associated with oil discoveries in Togo. He advocates for the enforcement of Abidjan Convention to prevent oil extraction, emphasizing the importance of minimizing greenhouse emissions linked to climate change. Kwame also contributes to global environmental discussions, having participated in events such as the Francophone African Climate Justice Gathering in Côte d'Ivoire. His involvement underscores his commitment to ecological preservation and community well-being. Furthermore, Mr. Kpondzo has co-authored articles on environmental issues, including those published in the Early Progressive, which highlights his dedication to climate justice and sustainability development. You're welcome, Kwame.
Thank you.
So the very first question that I would like to know, as a climate justice defender, what are the roles that these defenders play in protecting the environment?
Yeah, thank you so much. I think it's very important, before I answer your question, it's very important to say that the issue of environmental defenders is key. And we need to continuously discuss that to show that the defenders are playing a key role in defending the right of nature and the right of peoples. In terms of the role of the defenders, they stand to protect the rights, and the rights of the nature and the right of people, the collective rights of people. And they also play a role of advocacy. Okay, they advocate towards the governments and the policymakers and the decision makers to change the policy in the favor of people. And they also do some research to document the data that can help them show what's wrong and what's going on badly in their communities. And from the research also, they can do litigation, and also they can call the international communities, civil society constituencies, to help them protect the environment.
Okay, so what are some of the risks that these defenders face in cost of all they do for the environment?
Yes, they face a lot of intimidation, they face arrests, they are killed, and those intimidation are very uh, uh, dangerous for the defenders, because some of the examples we have in Africa, in South Africa, in Africa, in Latin America, in Asia, communities are fighting for their rights, and the system of oppressions also fight back, kill them. The example of Mama Fikele is there in South Africa, where she stood against the coal mining and she was gunned down. And the case of Ken Saro-Wiwa also is here in Nigeria, where he was fighting against Shell oil extraction in Ogoni. So he stood against that extraction, and he was executed. And we also have Berta Cáceres in Latin America, Honduras, where she was killed because she stood against the development of hydroelectric dam. So the defenders are at risk, but we know that there is a hope, because we are doing right things as a defender. We are defending our own rights, and not only the right for communities, but the collective rights. And those who are oppressing also are benefiting from the environment. So if we kill our environment, we are killing ourselves. So that is why we want them to understand that as we are protecting our rights, it's our collective rights, we also protect their rights and protect the right of nature.
So how can community-led environmental monitoring initiatives contributing them? How can it contribute to promoting environmental justice?
Yes, the monitoring from communities is very important, because monitoring will show what's going on, and they should do the monitoring before the development project, for instance, and doing the monitoring during the project and after the project will show the difference between what was the environment before and what is it now. And most of the time, the monitoring show the degradation, show the depletion of environment, and also show that there is a huge change within the community, and that change need to be changed positively. So, I think communities monitoring is very key and important. If they don't do it, then they become complicit with government or with the multinationals that are causing the degradation of the environment.
The environment and the people who live in it are very important and needs to be protected. You've been listening to Kwami, who is an environmental justice advocate. We'll take a short break, and when we return, you'll continue to hear from him how defenders must continue to fight for the environment while protecting their lives. Stay tuned.
Are you looking for a conducive and serene environment to carry out your research works and need the right content to be at your best? Are you a lover of academics and intellectual books? Do you seek proper works of research for knowledge enhancement, or you want a place to read at your leisure? The Home Health Library and Resource Center is the right place to be. With our well-arranged and fully stocked bookshelves, searching for your preferred genres and authors is made much easier than you could ever imagine. With our well-experienced librarians and guides, you've got a reading and research pleasure to catch up with. At Home Health Library and Resource Center, Benin City, Nigeria, it is simply an unforgettable experience.
Welcome back. You've been listening to Kwami Kpondzo, who is the Executive Director of Center pour la Justice Environmental Togo. He's been amplifying the works that environmental defenders has been doing in Africa and the world at large. And we would like to know how can we support these environmental defenders who are faced with threats and intimidation? What can we do to help them?
Yes, we need to help them. We need to help communities and defenders, environmental defenders at risk. We have a declaration on human rights defenders that was collectively adopted by the UN members. And with that declaration, they appointed a UN rapporteur who also play a key role to defend and to protect the human rights at risk. Unfortunately, the rapporteur is not protecting physically those defenders, defenders that we are. But the rapporteur can intervene before the government of the country where the situation is happening, and also can write some letters, can write reports, and can ask civil society organizations or defenders to input that report with the case or the situation happening in the country. So we got that declaration. And also we have some of the organizations that have funds to support the human rights defenders at risk. And if it happens, it's for the human rights to seek for that fund and to write, to ask for it, and to complain. So the organizations can support with fund for legal support, or with fund for security support or relocation. So the defenders have some opportunities. So we need to know them, and if the situation happens, then we can go for those supports. And we also have some key information that the defenders need to know about the way we can use to defend them. And one of them, the concrete example, is the internationalist solidarity system that Friends of the Earth International put in place. And within that internationalist system, we have the rapid response, whereby the defenders at risk can be supported, their family as well. So the fund can be given to that particular defender to go for legal process, and also to support whatever needs to be supported.
So you talked about legal process, and we know that there are cases in Nigeria where communities has taken these multinationals to court, and they won the case, but we do not see action. Rather, we saw a particular company sell off and divest. These are some of the threats that we know communities face. So what's the hope for the community if these multinationals do not obey the international courts?
Yes, so I think it's very important to note that the step to litigate, or the step to sue the company, is more than satisfactory, because it's the first step anyway in terms of legal process. And in the case of Nigeria, I think some communities won their case. So it's also a signal to multinationals and to government that communities have power, and peoples have power. So I think that those communities need to continue the fight, because we cannot just stop there. We won the case, but then we should continue the advocacy, so that all the adequate compensation need to be paid for the communities. And litigation is key. So I might say we can't lose hope, because if you lose hope, then you lose the battle.
Yeah. So let's narrow it down to the Center for Environmental Justice in Togo,
Yes.
where you head.
Yes, thank you. I think in Togo we also are defending the right of nature and people's rights, people's collective rights, where we sensitize communities, we build the capacity to understand their rights and to know their rights, and also to know how they can defend their rights. So we organize School of Sustainability, where we discuss those topics on right issues, and also we analyze the context, the political context within the political context in which we are working, and in which we are defending the communities, and also we do research to collect data. We document the case, and for instance, in Togo, where we have mining that affecting communities, phosphate mining that affecting communities, affecting coastal communities as well, because the waste of the treatment of the phosphate is directly dumped into the sea, so it affects fisher folks, and also the solid waste is affecting the communities on the coast. So we also want to go for legal process, and I think we are working with some lawyers that are guiding us through the process, and those are our strategies as Center for Centre pour la Justice Environnementale Togo. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We know that amplifying voices and stories of environmental defenders who advocate for policies and protection of the environment cannot be overemphasized. And our guest has exposed the threats and challenges that these defenders face. And on this note, we've come to the end of today's episode, and you've been listening to Kwami Kpondzo, who is a prominent environmentalist from Togo, who is well positioned and to discuss the environmental issues and how defenders must be protected. Thank you so very much for being our guests today, Kwami, and I'm sure that our listeners have been exposed to how they can be better defenders of the environment. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we do hope that we will see you some other time and you will graciously attend to us when we call.
Yes,
Thank
sure.
you.
Thank you so much.
Please join us in our next episode as we delve deeper into other environmental issues. And remember to visit our website, www.homef.org, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Echo Homef. I remain your host, Kome Ojamo. Thank you.